Are you having sleep issues, waking up in the middle of the night, especially between 3 and 5 a.m.? Crazy nightmares. It's all part of the ascension path. Today I'm going to talk about the ascension symptoms of sleep. We'll talk about all the different reasons why it happens, and more importantly, how do we finally get some sleep around here? Today on Earth 1111. Hey, it's Roxanne. This is Earth 1111. Please subscribe and hit the bell. I talk about spiritual awakening, ascension, 5D New Earth, and all the weird and wacky stuff in between. Now, are you having issues sleeping? Most of the world right now is having so many sleep issues. And it's happening for a reason. We are ascending into a higher consciousness. Your body, the DNA of your body is recoding itself to become an expanded light being. Don't have to believe me, I talk about this in many other videos, so if you have no idea what I'm talking about, but you're experiencing these symptoms, please refer to a lot of my other videos. But let's talk about why we have so many ascension symptoms to do with sleep. So when we first wake up, our energy, our kundalini energy, which is your soul, it moves upwards from our bottom chakras, which gives us the experience of going through life in survival mode. So the typical person that is unawakened lives their life in fear, in just trying to get by, worrying about the outside material world. Now, as our energy, your soul, moves upward, we are able to experience higher and higher perceptions of reality, higher timelines, higher dimensions. Now, what happens is typically your energy moves upwards and ends up becoming in the mind. So now your focus is in the mind. And this is when we activate our pineal gland, things like that. But the problem with that is it brings us up out of the body. And in order to sleep, we need to be in the body. We need to be grounded. So when you're constant, your whole day is involving you to be worrying about the outside world, watching things, listening, speaking, everything is of the mind. Think about that. The 4 out of 5 of the human senses are in the head. Our eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. So there's a reason for that. This helps with our experience of duality, which I'll talk about in other videos. Now, the problem is we start activating higher and higher and higher aspects of self, higher dimensions, which happens naturally with ascension. This is already happening to you, which is why you can't sleep all of a sudden for the past months or years. Now, the problem is our energy starts going up in the mind and it stays there. And then, of course, everything we do throughout our day is involving us to be thinking, analyzing, consuming energy from everywhere. Watching TV, consuming that. On social media, consuming that. So you bring so much energy into the mind area. It's like a big helium balloon that is going up and up and up and up. You can't get back down into the body. So this is what's happening with everyone right now. So you may be experiencing where you go to sleep for a couple hours and then you wake back up. And a lot of times you might wake up between 3 and 5 a.m. or at other times. So I have this chart that shows your different organs that are cleansed and purified, that your body purifies and heals during different cycles of the day. So if there's a certain time where you're always waking up, then check the chart, because you might be having issues where, for example, your lungs are being purified. Maybe it's your heart, maybe it's your liver. So again, that can also give us an indication to what in our body needs to be purified, where we need to be detoxifying ourselves. So again, the typical person wakes up between 3 and 5 a.m., which again, that kind of goes along with the whole thing. If you go to bed around 10 or 11, maybe midnight, you sleep for a couple hours and then you jerk back awake and you're awake for the whole night or a big chunk in the middle of the night. And then you might get back to sleep for a couple hours right before you have to wake up. So again, this is all normal. We get angry about it, we get upset, but remember, this is all part of the process. We need to just love ourselves and be calm and realize that your body is doing so much work behind the scenes to integrate massive activations of light into your physical body. Your DNA is recoding itself. You're activating massive other aspects of self, your astral self, your etheric self, your causal, all these different bodies that you're activating way up into deep space. It's hard to get back into the body. And you might be having crazy nightmares. So maybe you're someone that in the past you never could remember a dream. But as your consciousness is expanding and your vibration's raising, the separation between you as the human and your fourth dimensional self and fifth dimensional self is closing. So that veil is becoming thinner. So now when you wake up, your human self is only maybe this far away from the vibration of your 4D self or your 5D self. So now you're able to remember a lot more of your dreams, because when we're dreaming, we're dreaming in the astral realm, which is a fourth dimensional realm, which I've talked about in the past as well. So again, if you're someone that never remembered your dreams and now you're having all these vivid dreams, that's why. Your consciousness has been raised. You are now able to remember dreams a lot more. And the nightmares we are having, the crazy weird stuff, what happens when we're sleeping is we're doing a lot of healing. We're healing the inner shadow. The shadow of anything, any trauma that we've experienced from past lives, from our childhood, from maybe infinite times. We're healing these shadow aspects and healing alternative timelines, healing everything back to the singularity, which is you in this lifetime. So you're going to be experiencing craziness when you're sleeping because they're all parts that are healing. So it's normal. You don't have to be scared that all these nightmares are happening and you're possessed by a demon. You don't have to worry about that. It's all normal. And you might be also having lucid dreams where you wake up in the dream and you know you're dreaming and you're able to walk around and do crazy stuff while you're sleeping, knowing that you're dreaming. So that's also fun. That also can happen. But remember, when you're sleeping, you're doing so much healing. So we need to try to get to sleep as much as possible so we can heal our body. If you're never getting sleep and the cycle goes on where you're not getting sleep, you get worse and worse and worse. You get less grounded, and then it then becomes a cycle. So we don't have to be worried that something's wrong and something's wrong with us. It's happening to everyone. It's all normal. You're safe. Everything's happening perfectly for your spiritual growth. Oh, and as a side note, if you're someone who has been ascending for quite a few years, when we have these dreams, when we wake up, you actually can look at a wall or something, and you can see yourself coming out of a portal. So you might experience where when you wake up, the second you wake up, you can see that you're coming out of a colored vortex or a spiral or a portal. You might see sacred geometry. So this is all showing you that you have been journeying through while you're sleeping these different realms to heal not just your own shadow and your own traumas, but now you're healing the collective shadow, the collective traumas of the entire world, of all humans, the grids on this planet, and maybe infinite other timelines, other parts of self which isn't necessarily to do with Earth. We might be healing our lives that we lived on other planets, other star systems, other alternative universes. So it gets crazy. I always know, especially when I come out of a dream and I see a massive detailed sacred geometry pattern, I know, okay, that was a trauma that I finally healed down to the root. So instead of it being a knot of energy, I'm able to come out of that dream knowing that I have purified that trauma, whatever it was. And again, the less that you need to remember your dreams and need to analyze them and look up all the dream meanings, we don't need to do that, because if you wake up out of a dream and it's this big long thing that you need to know what the meaning is, well, that something was just clearing from you, and now you are activating that again. But it was meant to clear. So it's best when you come out of these crazy dreams to just forget about them. You don't need to look up all the dream meanings. What we need to do is we need to realize that you're coming out of that dream. It was healing something. We don't need to reactivate that trauma. So let the dreams go. We have to just be very loving to ourselves. Your body is doing so much right now. So how do we get some sleep? Number one, the problem is so many people before bed, they watch TV, they're on the internet, they're on their phone, on social media. All of these things are mind activating things. They bring you out of the body, they bring you up. So remember, anything you are watching, hearing, experiencing, you're consuming energy. The more things that you do that activate your eyes, watching TV, that activate your ears, that bring you up, the more problem you're going to have with sleeping. And you might get to sleep temporarily, but then you might jerk back awake and be awake for many hours. So try to limit the amount of things you're consuming in the outside world before bed, for a couple hours before bed. Try to do things with less stimulation. So less things looking visually, less loud music, less eating. Again, when you eat before bed, especially, we all like our treats before bed. Again, your body is now trying to integrate and heal itself from all those toxic foods that we eat, our chips, our sugars. All these, again, bring you more disrupted sleep patterns. So try not to eat before bed for quite a few hours. Again, it's hard, we don't like to do it, but that would also help you as well. Your body can do a lot more without the toxic energy in your blood keeping you awake, keeping you agitated. So we need to ground and be in our body, especially before bed. Try to do something before bed that gets you down, feeling in your body, grounding. So you might do some light stretching, yoga. You might dance. You might put some calm music on and just meditate. Anything to get you down, feeling yourself in your body, and less stimulation in the outside world will definitely help. A massage can really help as well. So if you can get a massage, maybe your spouse or your kids can help you. Any way to get into the body, to start feeling the body, can bring you down and ground you. And if no one's around there that can help you out, you can massage yourself, especially your feet. Your feet are key to release energy and ground you. So massage your feet. Maybe do a salt soak on your feet. Really try to stimulate the energy in your feet to release energy and allow you to get back in the body. So we can do this as well. If you wake up in the middle of the night, start massaging your feet. You'll find that you get a lot more tired. Deep breathing. So this is something I've had to do for many years because sleep was a big issue, especially as we activate and we ascend higher and higher and higher. We activate so many levels above us, way up into deep space, that it's so hard to bring all that energy back into the body to get tired. So deep breathing, the number one thing you can do. Again, you can do alternative nostril breathing, which I've talked about in the past. More importantly, that helps me is breathing where you breathe in the nose for about 5 to 10 seconds. You hold it for a second or two and you breathe out the mouth. But when you breathe out the mouth, you do it almost like you're blowing up a balloon. It's that pressure of, and you feel that you're sinking. So you can feel your entire body sinking down. What that's doing is getting you back into the body. It's getting your light body that's way up here in outer space back down into the body, grounding. So again, in the nose for 5 to 10 seconds and slower out the mouth. So out the mouth for at least 10 seconds. Again, doing it like you're blowing up a balloon. And this might take 15, 20 minutes. It might take half an hour, but you will get tired. You're literally breathing out consciousness. you're breathing out density, and you're getting yourself more aligned into the center, which is the 0 point. You're aligning your brain hemispheres and allowing you to get back into the center and down. So everything we do is, as you can see, you look around, everything we do is forward. We're on the computer, we're on our phones, attention's always in front of us. This makes you flopped over and makes you out of the body. We need to be getting back and down, well, in and down as well. So the more you can do that, trust me, this is one of the keys. So other ways we can have an orgasm. I don't mean get out the porn and worry about that. That's exterior stimulation again. But get back into the body, feel your own body, and when you have an orgasm, it's a release. It's a centering of the brain, the two brain hemispheres, and it's a release down. So again, we can't be relying upon this every single night. So whenever something becomes overused, it becomes a crutch. We don't want to have that happen, but this is something that can really be used in moderation. It's a nice release into the body, getting down. And exercise as well. Some people, when they exercise, get all stimulated before bed. So I don't mean go for a marathon run or go to the gym with blaring music and get all hyped up. Of course, that's going to make you all awake. I'm talking calming exercising, calming yoga, maybe some floor exercises, maybe some dance. So things that will get you in the body, feeling the body. You might do just anything to get you into the body, sinking down and out of the attention of being in the mind the whole time. Because again, when we have issues, especially when we're far on the ascension path, you will find yourself, you have these orbits where you feel like you are a helicopter with about 100 propellers flopping you around, and it's so hard to just get calm and to get centered enough to get down. So we need to be getting more centered and more down all the time. That is the key. So there's also lots of different sleep music videos that you can put on YouTube, and they're ones that run 8 to 10 hours. And they're grounding music. It's activating your root chakra, it's calming, it's getting you quiet, it's quieting the mind. So you can put one of those on as well to get you calm and into the body a lot more. Another thing you can possibly do is a salt bath before bed. When we have a salt bath, we release a lot of our attachments, our thought loops, our emotions that again are keeping us up. So that also can work. So there's many different things we can do. The biggest thing you need to realize is to be gentle with yourself. Be calm. We've all been there where we've woken up in the middle of the night. The hours are counting down when we have to get up, and we get all pissed off with ourselves. We're agitated. We're angry. We can't do that. We need to really realize that your body is going through an evolution of a recoding of your DNA. It's huge. It's the biggest thing you'll ever experience in any lifetime. It's doing so much work in the background for you. So really be gentle with yourself, love yourself, be calm, because if you're angry, you're just going to get yourself a lot more woken up. So really just realize that this is part of the process. Sometimes you're just not going to be able to sleep, especially when we're getting an activation, when there's a lot of light coming in. Those are the nights that a lot of time we barely get any sleep. And other times, after those energies come in after a couple of days, we're integrating them. Now we need a lot of sleep. So these are all just part of the process. We need to just be very calm and realize that everything is happening in perfection. And the more that we can support our body and support ourselves and love ourselves, the better your ascension will be. We'll see you soon on Earth 1111. Please like the video, comment and share it, and subscribe and hit the bell. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. I'm Roxanne. Bye-bye.